Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make these chocolate and caramel rolls. Let's begin. So to get started on the recipe, you'll want to make the dough. Grab yourself a large mixing bowl and place in the strong white bread flour followed by the salt. Then mix the two together until they are well combined. You do not want the salt and yeast to interact, so make sure that you give it a good mix. Then you can add in the rest of your ingredients, starting with the yeast, the sugar, the cocoa powder, then the wet, which is the oil and the milk. Feel free to use water if that's what you want to use, and then also just some vanilla. Mix on a low speed to start with, working your way up to a medium-high speed, and mix until you have a dough that pulls away from the sides of the bowl. It may look like it's not coming together at first, but after a little bit of mixing, it will become so elastic it almost clears the bowl and leaves the bowl clean. While that's mixing in the final stages, you can go ahead and lightly oil a bowl. Just use some flavourless oil. I'm using vegetable oil, but feel free to use whatever you can get your hands on or have available. Then place the dough onto a lightly floured surface and just give it a knead until the dough is smooth and elastic. It doesn't take very long, but then you'll just want to bring it into a ball shape, place into the lightly oiled bowl, ensuring the top of the dough has been covered with some oil as well, and then cover with cling film, leave somewhere warm for around 45 minutes to an hour, or until the dough has doubled in size. And once it has doubled in size, you can then knock it back. That is the process of removing the gases that are built up in the dough during the first proof. So just remove the cling film, knock it back by punching it and just remove that air. Then you can go ahead and start processing it straight away. We do not need to do anything with the dough. Just roll it out and you want to get a rectangle. I'm making a smaller recipe, but I will share the recipe for 8. I'm making 6, but I'll share the recipe either way. Then you can just go ahead and keep rolling until you get the right shape, and then fill it. I'm using this chocolate caramel spread that you can get from Asda, but feel free to use just a chocolate spread and then some caramel. I'm also using additional caramel on top of this just because I had some to use up. I made dulce de leche and I had a little bit left over, so I thought why not use it in this. So there we go. Spread it out, and you want a good layer, but you don't want it to be too thick. Add on the caramel and just spread that in, and it will just incorporate into the chocolate spread really well. And believe me, this works so nicely and works really well. Then you can go ahead and cut up the dough. I'm cutting mine into 6 portions, and I'll get rid of the uneven edge, and that's just for my own preference. So there is a little bit left over, but nothing is wasted, not majorly. You can then go ahead and start to roll up your dough slices and just roll them up, and they will look really small, and this is because I'm using a half batch recipe, so I'm only making 6 instead of 12 or 8. And then just keep rolling until you've got all of your rolls rolled up, and then place into a 9x13 inch pan, which you can line with some parchment paper and cover loosely with some cling film. Then leave somewhere warm for around 35 to 45 minutes, or until they have doubled in size, and they should ultimately nearly be batching up. A little space doesn't hurt, and these don't really get too much bigger when they're baking, which is perfect, but they do batch up a little bit more. Then you can go ahead and place them into your preheated oven and bake them off. I will leave all the information you need in the blog post down below. So once they're almost fully cooled, you can then go ahead and top them with some more of that chocolate and caramel filling that we added on earlier. Just add it on top of each roll and just spread it out and give it a decent coverage. These are very sickly, and 1 would probably be enough, so just keep that in mind. Don't think you're going to be eating 6 of them. Then drizzle over some caramel. As you can tell, I had a lot of caramel left over from another recipe, which I don't know if I've shared or will be sharing actually. Then I just used some of these caramel pieces that I picked up while I was in Walmart, and just scatter them over and try and get an even coverage over all of them. So here are what the rolls look like. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me, and I'll be back again soon with another recipe, so join me then. In the meanwhile, don't forget to check out the description. There'll be a link to this recipe, a link to my blog, and links to all the social medias. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys.